Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another interview where owners and managers are willing to share their experiences with us. And today we are thrilled to have with us Eugena Bring, the owner of Carnation Home Cleaning in Mesa, Arizona, and her pretty new field manager, Norma Felix. I had the pleasure of spending a week with them at the beginning of May, and I thought this would be a great time to do an interview with them 3 months later to see if they're ready to throw daggers at me or things are rolling right along. So let's start with Eugena. Welcome, Eugena. Thank you so much. And tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and where you're at now.
My background, goodness, 27 years ago, I never imagined myself owning a cleaning business. So I knew I was going to own a business. I just didn't think it'd be in the cleaning industry because I had never done it before. It was always retail management. Over the years, everything I did was pretty much trial and error. So the company was created by whatever I kind of felt like doing. So when I went to Vegas about 4 or 5 years ago at the cleaning convention, I had met Sharon. And since then, I have stayed in touch with her and have noticed a change in the pendulum swing of the company from that point to now, with the most dramatic part being the last 3 months.
Well, so now you are at 213 repeat clients. Is that true?
I think it's 214 on the board as of today.
Yay, very good. And on May, the first week of May, you were at 198. So you have been going in a positive direction, which is wonderful. You now have 10 full-time cleaners and 1 part-time cleaner?
Correct.
Okay. And 5 teams, and you use company cars?
Yes.
So let me ask you this, Eugena. When I was there, you were going in the office, maybe just because I was there, but we were going in that office very early every morning. And one thing I said to you was, if you have 2 people like Norma and Eugena also has a customer service manager, Olivia, you should not be going in every single morning and opening up. They should. What's happening in your life these days, Eugena?
Well, I am not coming in. If I'm the first one here, it's only because of my choice of doing some extra work behind the scenes. But between Norma and Olivia, one of the 2 of them is here every morning to greet the staff when they come in and make sure they get out the door, everything loaded correctly, and any questions that they have or concerns is answered in the morning. So it's really nice. And I am also not the last person here every day either, Sharon. I have realized, thanks to you, that I don't have to be first in and last out. So that's been a big change. I almost feel like I've been on vacation, which is probably not good.
So let's hear from the person who allows Eugena the ability to have those banker's hours, Norma. Welcome, Norma, and thank you so much for doing this for us.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Norma, your background and your years of experience in cleaning that led you to the field manager's position.
Yeah, I was cleaning for 15 years, and I started cleaning with Carnation Home Cleaning in 2013. So after 4 years of cleaning here, Eugena asked me to be a supervisor. I was very nervous because I don't have a previous experience to be supervising, and I was nervous because the change to be a cleaner and now to be a supervisor, the difference between me and my partners. I was very nervous, but now I'm more confident with myself. I'm happy to be here because I'm learning every day something different, and I'm happy. So it's my story.
So let me ask you this, Norma. When you were cleaning for 15 years before you came to Carnation, were you cleaning with another company or were you cleaning alone?
I was cleaning with in a retirement community, VIP community for a very, I would say, rich people, 5 stars community. And I worked over there for 2 years before. And I was cleaning one house for the rest of the 10 years. 10 years. Yes.
So,
The last, 10 years. Yes. 10 years. 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 10 years.
And why did you decide you didn't want to do that anymore and go to Carnation?
Because I want something different. I want to work with more people, have, get out of my house and start doing something for me. Something like not stay in my home, sitting all day. I want to be active and proactive.
That makes total sense. And boy, is Eugena lucky you changed your mind. So back to Eugena. Eugena, when you first started, had me come out to you in May, you actually had 198 repeat clients. You had $750,000 in revenue. You first attended, you came out to my ranch and did the training class, Hill Country Harvest, in 2015. So tell me, what was missing? Why did you have me come to your office?
Wow, the biggest thing that was missing going from being at your ranch and actually coming back home and implementing everything was that I was doing it all on my own and I could never get ahead of it. I would try to implement something and I would go on to the next and the first would fall apart. So it was a really hard transition for me to move a lot of the bigger stuff over.
And
the actual core process.
You feel that was because you were a field manager? Is that the situation?
Definitely. I was missing that biggest link. And for me, it was having a field manager help share the responsibilities of keeping everything moving forward.
So let me ask you this, Eugena. Since you went to Hill Country Harvest and we discussed the very importance of a field manager there, is that what you did as soon as you got back, or did you wait a while before you put Norma into place? And I have to ask you, if you did, what made you wait?
I did not right away. I tried implementing a lot of the policies and procedures, the handbook, the core training, without going out in the field, actually keeping that eye on the staff, making sure they were continuing with the process. So it was just this last year that Norma came into the office. She has been acting field manager now for 7 months.
So 7 months. Made you say, okay, I have to do this? What made you suddenly say, because I tried to convince you of that, I'm sure, when you were at the ranch. So what was the breaking point that made you say, wait a second, I got to do this?
Oh, well, it was obvious I couldn't do it on my own.
Okay.
I needed to get to that next level. I needed help. I needed somebody I could trust, somebody that I believed in their integrity and their values, that I could bring in and just trust them to be out in the field representing the company.
Okay. And that
offered it to Norma. So I did offer it, yeah.
Pardon me?
I did offer the position to Norma over a year ago when I did come back from the ranch. She wasn't quite ready to let go of her customers. She had them for 3 years and was very close with them, knew their houses, and I think she was really comfortable in what she was doing. So then it was just this second time now where 7 months ago I asked her again that she agreed to come in. So I'm very lucky.
Changed?
Excuse me?
What changed?
What changed was why I was nervous about change, because what I told you before, the change from cleaner to the supervising, and my communication skills, my English was not very well. So, but now after the training, after all this happened to me, I feel blessed, and I feel blessed to have Eugena with me, because she is my coach. She teaches me a lot of things, so I'm learning a lot from her, and I'm very blessed to have her in my life, because now I return to school. I'm learning a lot. I'm trying. I'm proud of myself. My family is proud of me, and it's the most important thing for me. Now I feel like I can do more things. I'm not only the housewife. I'm not only the cleaner. I'm I can be more than a cleaner. And I'm here.
Yes, you are.
Learning every day.
Amazing, amazing. And you're going back to school to learn English, which was huge, and getting straight A's. That's wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about the consistency and the quality of the cleanings. Eugenia, you said you had, and we looked at that. I mean, you were running a pretty high turnover rate on your clients. The consistency wasn't there. How is it now? Is the consistency there? How are your complaints? How are your cancellations?
Our complaints are down to almost nothing right now as far as quality. Our homeowners are adapting to the new process. They are appreciative of everything in every home cleaned properly every time. We are going through our summer months right now where normally we are losing homes left and right, but this year we have not. We have been able to maintain and hold on to our customers, and I really think it is because of the process that we are doing now with our cleaning and using the aprons, and really just every day doing that same repeated, consistent process over and over again.
What do you think, Norma? You were cleaning on the old days under the old system before Eugenia has obviously had these videotapes for a long time, but you probably weren't using the system. Well, we know you weren't using the system. What do you think, Norma? Right. Being out there checking it all, do you think it's the system that has improved your quality, and are they really following that system?
Yeah, the system works very good because it's more easier for us. It's easier for me to check the teams, and it's easier for the team to follow the directions because it's simple and works very well. So I'm so happy with your core system.
Good. You say you have more control over what's happening in the field and with the cleaners. How do you have more control?
Yeah, I have more control because I know the steps that I need to follow. And when I arrive to the house, I just go into the house and start looking the girls, and they follow the system because it's step by step. So it's easier and it's easier to follow. So it's very good system.
Okay, let's talk about, this isn't on the PowerPoint, but I think this is huge and our listeners will find this interesting. You were billing everybody by the hour, correct, Eugenia?
Yes, we were.
So if it's a 4-hour clean, the girls stay for 2 hours if it's a team of 2, or the guys, and then the customers billed for 4 hours by the hour. There was no, this is what your cost house is, and we'll be there as long or as short as we need to, as long as it's perfect, correct?
Yes, we were timing them. We were giving them 2 hours, no matter what, you stay in this home. The ladies were able to complete most of, their general cleaning in less time than that, but we had them stay and complete the full 2 hours or whatever it was, because that's what we bidded it as. That's how the homeowners were paying. They were paying for the time we were in there, not what we were able to accomplish.
Okay, and when I came there, I did this in my company too, so I was able to relate to what Eugenia had going on. The only problem with this is there is no incentive for a cleaner to get good and faster at what they do. As a matter of fact, there's probably more of an incentive to slow down, because once you know what you're doing and you're good, you have to slow down or you're doing twice as much work. So what we did was Eugenia talked to the clients who needed to be talked to and said, we're going to stay there as long as it takes to do a job perfectly. And then on top of that, we're going to do some periodic tasks. That's my overview. Now, Eugenia, will you talk to that a little bit about how are your cleaners feeling about this? How is it working? And are they able to like their jobs more because they're able to shave some time, but still, because they're paid by the job, not by the hour, correct?
Yes, mostly it is. They're paid hourly by the job assigned to them. So now we have changed everything because you had just really enlightened me on it. They were not working at bettering themselves. Why should they? There was no incentive in it for them. So by now, how we are estimating our jobs is by the square footage. So if they are X square footage, it takes this long to clean them on the general cleaning. And as soon as they have completed all of that, they're able to just leave that house. Homeowner is not standing there with a stopwatch anymore. They are just only expecting to have done what they have been promised would be done. So the ladies are, you know, a 2-hour clean, they're in and out now, hour and a half, hour and 3/4. And they're still getting paid for that 2 hours. So they are loving it. They are looking for ways to better themselves, to improve themselves with the whole process so they can make more money. And the homeowners are happier because the girls are happier.
Interesting.
So
Norma,
it is a win.
play devil's advocate. Let me play devil's advocate with Norma, who's out there managing these girls. There's going to be a lot of owners here, Norma, who are going to say, oh, they're just going to bust through those houses and they're going to leave stuff undone, and I'm going to be answering complaint after complaint. But we discussed your complaints on the phone, and they are so much lower than they were in the past. But I don't want to feed you and feed what I want you to say. So tell me, how are you controlling this? How are you making sure that they aren't busting through those houses and leaving you with complaints?
I control the girls, or not the girls, sorry. I control because when I arrived to the house, when I told you, I just check that they follow the system. They know the system, and if they have like any, I ask questions to them in one-on-ones. So every single week when they come with me, so I ask questions about the system and about the core system, if they're following the system. So when I arrive to the houses, I notice that they're following, because they go like top to bottom and right to left, and they follow the system.
So you are convinced, Norma, that they can follow that system and clean a house perfectly in a lot less time than industry standards normally say.
Yes, they follow the system, and then in the less time. They finish in less time because they save time with the core system.
Okay.
It's very good. They're happy with that.
So let's go back with the one-on-ones. Well, no, you know what? I want to say something first, since you said they're happy with the core system. When I kicked that off that first week there, not everybody was happy with it, Norma. I got some kickback, to say the least. And you have video cameras in your supplies room, so we were able to hear what some people were saying about it. Have they bought into it now, really? I mean, if you took their aprons away, what would they say?
No, they weren't happy when they started the system, because change are hard for everybody. So like with the creating habit after all the cleaning, so it's easier for them. Now they have a habit with the core system.
So would they give the apron back to you, do you think, Norma? Would they be willing to give their aprons back?
Oh, because they love the apron. Now they say we need to have a big tattoo of apron here. So they love the apron now, so they can live without the apron.
I'll tell you what, I don't know why I put myself through that week, because I mean, they want to tar and feather me, and then 3 months later, truly, everybody says that. They wouldn't give them back. So I just want to make sure that our audience hears that, because you kind of become glued to them. So Norma, I also want to talk a bit about the one-on-ones, because another thing that our listeners are probably not doing is doing a consistent one-on-one every single week with every single team, because they feel it's so time-consuming and costly. Do you feel that they're valuable?
Yes, one-on-ones are very important, because it's their times. It's a time to share with me what problems they have, if they're happy here, to help them with everything that they need. So if they have answers, sometimes personal things, sometimes with with personal things, with problems in the work, with problems in the field, problems with tools. So we share all the experience from them, It's their time. It's not my time. I'm here to help them. And that's why I love one-on-ones, and they love one-on-ones, because it's a free time from no owner, no customers, just they and me. And I'm here to help them. So that's the one-on-ones.
That just warms my heart, Norma. Now, let's go back like the apron. When you first had your first week of one-on-ones, and I'm saying this for our owners because I know they feel this way, that, oh, maybe I'll try it once a month, Sharon, but once a week is way too much. And I remember your people rolling their eyes when they had to come in and do the one-on-one with you. Do you have any eye rolling anymore, or are they really looking forward to them?
No, they're not rolling their eyes anymore. They know that we haven't chat time, and they're ready Wednesday or Thursdays.
And do you think weekly is a good idea, Norma, or do you think it's overdone?
Yes, I think weekly is a good idea, because every week something new happens with their lives.
Okay, now I'm going to ask Eugena a question, back to Eugena, because you're the one from an owner perspective who sees, did the one-on-ones, do you think, make a huge difference? And you're paying for them. You obviously support them weekly. Why?
Oh my goodness. The one-on-ones, the ladies actually look forward to them now. And when they don't get them, they're like, when are we doing my one-on-ones? So I notice that they're, like Norma said, they're being listened to. It's their time. It's their voice being able to speak up. If we didn't do them, I believe they would definitely miss them. It has brought, for company standpoint, it's brought their morale up. It's made them feel special. They didn't like it at first. I agree with you. They thought it was the biggest waste of time. But as you told us over and over again, you have to keep doing it. It will become a habit. They will fall in love with it and not be able to live without it, just the same as the aprons. So there's two things that were huge for us in moving forward.
So do you think that this has all impacted your turnover?
Greatly, yes. Yep, I believe that was a big key.
Interesting, because Eugena did a very nice thing this morning. She had a staff meeting, which we'll talk about next, and she had everybody wave and say hi to me. And there was one person I didn't know, but I believe she's an addition probably. So your staff has been very consistent in 3 months. That's phenomenal.
Yes, our core, our leaders are very happy. Our team members are happy because the leaders are happy. They see that we're changing a lot of stuff. And as Norma said, change is hard. The ladies don't like it. So we always have to remind them that, like stagnant water, if you're not keep putting fresh water in the bucket and changing things, it becomes stagnant. We don't grow and change and move and become bigger and better selves at home, at work, everything. So that's kind of right now. Yeah, that's been one of the biggest changes probably in me, is embracing change.
Well, and that's a tough one. So let's talk about your staff meetings, because Eugena was telling me this morning that she really doesn't see the cleaners at all anymore. Norma does that. Norma, boy, if we could only clone you, I could sell you for $100,000 of office. So therefore, Eugena doesn't see much of the staff, but you do a weekly staff meeting. Is that correct, Eugena? Everybody is there. And what do you cover in these staff meetings? And what do you see as the value of them to you?
Okay, so we do not do them weekly. We do our entire staff once a month, every 4 weeks, and then the opposite 2-week schedule, we do leader meetings, where it's just the leaders that come in and we do a breakfast for them, more intimate, sit down, and those are an hour long, whereas the staff meetings with the entire company, including our back room concierge and Olivia, the front manager, we do those usually a half hour, 45 minutes. And we have now been sending out everybody an agenda the night before. So when they come into the meeting in the morning, they know what exactly we're going to be covering. So it gives them time to think in their own mind what kind of questions they would have for that topic. So this morning we had 5 different topics that we covered. So it was great. They knew what to expect. No bombshells were going to go off. So that was really nice. It was a great gathering. As you saw, everybody wanted to say hi to you, and we're trying to meet our goal to where we can get you to come back out.
Okay.
We try to keep it very positive. Nobody gets chewed out. It's a very positive meeting.
And who runs that meeting, you or Norma?
I run it.
Okay, very good, very good.
So that's my one interaction with the employees. Other than that, I really have no reason to talk with them.
Okay. I missed something on this PowerPoint I would like to discuss, and that's work orders. Did you guys all get those straightened out? And for the benefit of our viewers, work orders are what I consider the #1 problem in all the 24 offices I've been in so far. There's just sometimes very little correlation between the work order and the house you're actually cleaning. Like the dog that's going to bark and run away isn't even there anymore. Have you all, and you had the same situation, and Norma was going to get a handle on checking them. How is that going?
Every single work order has been gone over and completed, redone, updated. It was a long process. So what we did is we brought the team leader in to help us with their homes, with the process. So we just filtered through all 5 teams and got all of our work orders completed.
Are you getting less phone calls administratively in the office now that the work orders are accurate?
Yes.
Okay, great. I wanted to bring up what the quality of Eugena's work looks like before she changed to the core system. This is the most beautiful vacuuming job I've ever seen in my life. I thought it was fake. Really. Glued onto that carpet. So Eugena left these homes in beautiful condition before she even did core. So I want people to understand that your homes can look gorgeous when you walk in, but that doesn't mean that you're finding everything that the client is finding if indeed you are not being very careful with with making sure you follow the system, because that's the thing we found, Norma, right in the field when we were working together, that, oh my gosh, here's this dust that when you spot check them, you never even knew there was any dust there. So your vacuuming is gorgeous. So Norma, what did you feel you were missing when you took over the field manager's job that would keep you from being a perfect field manager?
What I think that I'm missing?
Yeah.
I was afraid about the staff not respecting me as a manager instead of a cleaner. My communication skills, because my language, and no previous experience with leadership and management, so no skills about that. So, and a lack of office skills.
Okay, so let's go back and talk about these. So do the girls respect you, and how do you think you earn that respect? Because that's the biggest problem that owners have in naming somebody a field manager, and the biggest problem that people like you have in accepting the position is they're afraid nobody will respect them. I do believe they respect you, Norma. How did you make that happen?
They respect me now, and because they know that I'm the supervisor, and I learn a lot of things from you when you come. So when you come here to train me, I have all your suggestions for me. So and one important for me is now I can sweat, but they can see it.
That's right. I told her never let them see you sweat, because that would make you lose all of your moxie without a doubt. But the Spanish and English thing, that was a concern for you with the clients. Do you find that that's an issue with clients? No, right?
No.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with that, because when I win the clients, I'm very confident. I feel more confidence with the clients sometimes than here. I don't know why, but when I'm with a client, I feel super confident. So I'm not nervous. I'm very relaxing. So I don't know why, but I'm so happy with the clients, and I think they understand everything, and I understand them too.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. Now, do you feel that you use the leadership side more in your job, or do you feel you use the management side more in your job, Norma?
Management, I think.
It is, okay. Okay. And the office skills, that didn't turn out to be a very big problem for you, did it, Norma? You were able to learn that as you went?
Yes, it's not a problem for me. I know a little bit of the computer, so it's not hard. So if I have questions, I just run to Eugena's office and she helped me. And I like to write everything in paper, and I save it for like a week. And after that, I learn it and I put it in a trash can. And I'm a quick learner.
She is.
So here is
Catches on very quickly.
going from house to house in Eugena's very beautiful cars. I did want to show everybody what a great classic car you have. So Eugena, back to the field manager. You didn't put it into effect when you first when you first got back from Hill Country Harvest because you were not sure, I guess, how to put it into effect. Is that right? I mean, like, where was your challenge in making this happen?
For me personally, I was hearing about how to do it at Hill Country Harvest. And for cross country, when you actually came here, I was able to actually physically see it. For me, being a hands-on learner, it was a night and day difference. Yes, hearing about it was good, but what an improvement when you came here. And you know, you're not always a prophet in your own land. So obviously bringing you in brought everybody's attention center field in the whole company. And yeah, that was pivotal for us. That is the big turning point that I'll probably say 10 years from now, looking back, made the biggest difference in the world. I can learn all day long, read things and put new policies and procedures in black and white, but physically doing it and is hands down a great, I think it's great. I wish I would have done the week with you, and you were actually here 9 days, and going into it, I thought, holy Toledos, how am I going to deal with Sharon here for 9 days? I am so used to running everything my way or the highway, and here we have you coming in and completely upset and flipped everything around to the good. I was sad at the end of it. We all were when you left. You just brought us so much value that you just can't even put it into words, really. We are definitely very appreciative of that week and everything that you did. I mean, we put 15-hour days in at a minimum.
Well, you make me cry. Thank you very much. And Norma was very glad when I left because Saturday morning I understand she slept very late and then went and had a 3-hour massage. So Eugena, back to you again. Can you explain to our audience the value of a field manager? Because I still see offices first. Well, let me ask you this. If you had your life to do all over again in this business, would you first name a field manager and then bring in a customer service manager?
Yes.
So
for sure.
Again and again, I see companies still bringing in the customer service manager first. Can you somehow or other get across to them the value of this field manager position? I mean, I guess maybe just saying you get to come in at 9 now and keep banker's hours might be one thing, but the value.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for me to do over, definitely, you know, the customers don't see the office. They don't care. They see their house. So if you're not going to do that right, then there's no reason for an office manager. And there's really no way you can grow and move ahead without making sure your field is always running top notch. Then bringing in the office manager would be, to where you get to that certain level. I just don't see where it's beneficial. It's kind of a waste of money. And you start getting those sales, you get those happy customers telling all their neighbors and referring you, and your phones start ringing, and you're not worried about, oh no, this homeowner is really going to be mad. Their floor is probably streaked, and they missed their blinds, and the fans weren't dusted, and oh my God. Now when our phone rings, it's customers calling, talking about how great their cleaning was and how much they love their team. And that has been really a pleasant change.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I remember Gosha, one of my favorite clients, saying she stopped going to networking events because she was afraid she'd run into a client. And now she's doubled her numbers because she's back to networking again. So yeah, cleanings have to be good. That's what we do for a living. So it goes without saying.
Yep.
So I'm going to say that the 3 biggest changes made in the last 3 months were implementing your field trainer, obviously, your Norma, a reward program and sales goals, and I'll let you speak to that, and the new policies implemented like attendance, employee handbook. You want to speak to those last 2 things, Eugena? What was your reward program?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about the to-go goals?
The to-go goals are really encouraging for the cleaners. That gives them a goal. They're excited. They can make more money in less time and be improving themselves. That's all great. Our reward program has been great. The staff are excited every morning when they come into the office to see exactly where our numbers are. We keep track daily of all of our new homes, our lost homes. It gets put up on a huge board in our back office, and they literally come in the back door in the morning and their focus is right there. What are our numbers? Where are we at? So it's gave more ownership to them.
So they are tied
their
into
team.
those numbers in some way?
They are tied into those numbers. Each team is rated on certain aspects that they do. I wish I had a picture here to show you. So they get reviews. They do they get good compliments from homeowners. And there is negative on there too if a homeowner calls and with the complaint, or if we lost a customer. All of that has pluses and minuses that they like to keep an eye on, and I think they really truly care about it. It's not just a number up on the wall that they don't understand. It's benefiting their pocketbook.
So why don't you send me a picture of your wall chart, Eugena, and I'll be sure and put it in the newsletter where we print this so people can see it.
Yeah, because the one board doesn't take effect. The staff board does not win per se in our situation unless the sales board wins. The sales board is all based on Olivia and Norma's and mine. What we do, I bring in the phone. I make the phones ring. I can bring in the customers, no problem. Olivia sells them. Norma keeps the ship running because she keeps the employees trained properly and the homeowners happy. So for us 3 to win our board, the employees win their board. So it's really it's a win-win for everybody. Everybody's excited to exceed at what their individual goals are, or what their job description is in making it happen. It's really a full team. It's a full team effort.
So you're telling
our numbers have gone up.
If your number at the end of the month is 215 and you're not there, then your employees do not get what they earned on their board.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's working.
And yes, and they get to see that every day. Every single day they see that happen throughout the month.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So now we're going to come back to Norma. Norma, we've discussed most of these. Your biggest changes really as far as the last 3 months are more about you. You feel more confident. You think you're making better decisions. I got a kick out of this. She said she actually feels smarter. Which
Yeah, I'm more confident now.
Every right to be proud of yourself. And then the other statement that really stuck with me was when you said you're excited about every day and the opportunities available to you that day, what you can learn. You want to speak to that at all?
Yeah, now, yes, I feel like that I'm more confident in all the ways, the office, in the field, in my house, in my life. So I'm confident and I feel it.
It's wonderful. It is just, the change is remarkable. Okay, Eugena, so what do you think you've gotten as a return on your investment in me?
Oh boy, whew. The biggest things. Oh my goodness, our return was huge. The training that we received from you to Norma directly with the staff, it was really probably the #1 thing for us. The behind the scenes, we did so many things. We improved the policies and procedures in the office, but the quality of our cleans has improved, which is also amazing. The hiring and the training process that we went through, you took us through with Norma. She does all of the hiring and the firing now. I don't even deal with that. I come in, I'm here, I'm to help her, I coach her, but she has taken over all that process as well, because we put it in such good order when you were here. So I'm able to go to orientate new employees is pretty much a gun show. You know, here's your stuff, go clean. Because we would get put under the gun. We're shorthanded, somebody called in sick, somebody quit, we got a big job, we need extra help. We would, in the past, just kind of bring in whatever live body walked in the front door. And I'm sure a lot of people understand what I mean by that. Now we are still quick to hire, but we have a process that we put them through. They come in and they sit down and they go through an orientation with Norma. That it's a whole book that's done up. It tells them exactly what we expect of them, what they can expect of their job, who they answer to, who they're responsible for. I mean, it just gives them a whole understanding of the company. And then we put them through the core training videos to where they can actually watch and see what their expectations are. Then Norma takes them out into the field. Go out and network now all day, Sharon. I'm not sitting here. I'm not in the office hardly at all. I'll come in at noon only because I've started networking groups at 7 a.m. The office runs without me right now. I'm going to be leaving on a 2-week vacation and I have no worries. And it is the first time in 27 years that I can say that. So the amount of money at first sounded like a lot, having you come here, because, you know, what was it, airfare? I mean, it seemed like a lot of money. We've already gotten that back, just in me not having to take anti-anxiety medication on a daily basis has improved. Yeah, so I would, gosh, the return on investment, huge. If you can't afford to do it, put it on a credit card. Get it done, because you're going to make that much more money back, not only with the business, but your life. So I would do it over and over again. We're looking forward to having you coming back in the fall when we hit our goal number of what was it, 250?
Yeah, I think it was 250, maybe 240. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure I have it in my notes somewhere. Thank you so much for the compliments. I appreciate it, Eugena. But I do want to go back technically and talk a bit about the hiring and training. I did interview for you when I was there. And when I got done with the first interview, you said, I've never seen anybody interview like that before. You want to talk about that for a second and how we kind of changed the way you approach hiring and interviews?
Yeah, the way your hiring process was so different than what I was taught before. And I had paid almost $100,000 for a training that I got more out of your training than I did hiring this other individual to come in and help with the process. Your training on the hiring, asking all the questions, listening to the answers, making them feel comfortable. So how we use everything that they learned that morning, they get to actually physically do at that point. So it's still pretty quick because we can get somebody through that process in one day. But it's not the hire, here's your apron, here's your tote, go, there's the car, and here's the homes, get it done and do it right. So I think that we are able to make better, not only are we making better hires, but we're giving them correct expectations of their job to where they are going to stick around and hopefully for years with us.
Okay, so you said you used to do it the old way because you were under the gun. Are you never under the gun anymore?
No, we still are, but we try to stay a little bit ahead of it with an extra temp to perm hire. So we continuously are taking applications and talking with new people and filling our hopper. But we always have one person hired that we guarantee them a minimum of 25 hours a week. So if we need them, they need to be available to come in and fill in. So we've slowed down that under the gun, here's your stuff, go clean, because of that temp to perm step that you taught us how to do and implement.
So you are guaranteeing that person, you're guaranteeing that person full-time in 90 days, and is that what you're doing?
Correct.
Okay, and that's working.
Yes, and they're usually within a week or two, they're on a full-time schedule. Because
surprise, surprise.
The turnover, as hard as we try to keep everyone happy and the ship running smoothly, the turnover is still there.
You're not going to have
we will
zero
continue
turnover.
to work on it.
You don't want zero turnover because not everybody you have do you want to keep on board anyway. So
that's true.
You don't want that.
Yep.
So at the end, we decided that we weren't. Carnation Home Cleaning was no longer your average trunk slammer, and she threw me in the trunk and got rid of me and sent me back to Austin, Texas. So, any final thoughts, Eugena, that you'd like to share with me?
Final thoughts. I am probably more happy now today than I think I've ever been since I started the company. A lot of it is when you get key people and you put them in the right spot to be able to propel you forward is huge. Yeah, I'm super excited to see what it'll be like even as short as a year from now, where we will be.
Me too. Me too. Norma, final thoughts.
I'm very happy to be here, and I want to thank Eugena for the opportunity, for all the things that she teaches me every time, and I'm very blessed. Thank you, and thank you, because I learned a lot from you, and I'm very happy and I'm blessed, and I'm here for more. Thank you.
Thank you, and I do believe you and I that are blessed with you, Norma. You truly were a delight to work with for that whole week, and we were attached at the hips for probably 60 hours that week. You were an absolute delight. And I look forward to seeing you both at convention. If any of you people would like to meet, our listeners would like to meet Eugena or Norma, they will be at my booth at convention at the ISSA ARCSI convention in Las Vegas on September 10th to the 14th. If you would like to talk to Eugena or Norma, or if any of you have field managers that would maybe like to bounce some things off of Norma, they both said they would be more than happy to take phone calls from you. Also, I would love to hear from you. My number is on my website, which is successmadeeasy.com. I would love to do one more trip before convention. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to both Eugena and Norma, and I wish you all the best of luck in the future. And I will see you when we do our next interview. Thanks, Eugena and Norma.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.